This trade took an hour and 15 minutes and made $800 profit. And to be honest, it wasn't even a great day in the markets. But it doesn't really matter with this strategy, to be honest, as it works pretty well every single day, no matter what pair you're trading. So let's get into the charts. So this strategy is actually super simple, and there's only really 2 or 3 steps to it. It's a strategy that you trade in the morning for the London traders out there, or the European traders. 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. is when you get the best trades for this strategy. But you honestly, any pair, any day, you're gonna get good setups. This one, for example, was only the second week into January, so it's really not the best day to trade, and it's a Monday, which is why the trade, like I said at the beginning, it didn't really go the best, but it was still a lovely day, and hopefully I can show you how you can still capitalize in your trades, even if it doesn't hit your full TP. And we'll get into that a bit later on. But first of all, the first step we wait for where we're trading the London session is the Asia session to get manipulated. So we've got the Asia high here and the Asia low, obviously, as you can see at the bottom. This is an indicator that we made for our members. Obviously, you've got the daily trope in there. So first things first is you're not going to do anything at all until either the Asia high or the Asia low is taken, right? So with that being said, let's stick to that and just wait. And the reason being for that is because the Asia session accumulates typically, and the London session will manipulate, right? And then obviously the New York session has the big move of the day. So if we're trading the London session, that is really what we're waiting for. All right, so you can see the Asia high has been taken. So what that means straight away is we're looking for shorts, and our TP is going to be here, right? It's very simple. That's the first part done. Right, so next, all we're going to be waiting for is a confirmation now that we're going to be reversing. So bear in mind it's the London Open. That is a big confirmation for us anyway, because like I said, we know the London session manipulates due to the Asia session accumulating. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can either go swing highs or swing lows. So for example, low, high, low, and then you can wait for price to change character. Or you can use an inversion fair value gap. For now, I'm going to use an inversion fair value gap because they tend to be a bit more reliable, and you can get a little bit more premium entries. So all that means is we're going to draw out these fair value gaps, which if you don't know what that is, let me know in the comments or something. I can make a video explaining it fully. But these gaps in the market, basically in the bullish market, we're going to come down, fill it and move on. Come down, fill it and move on, right? If we don't do that and we actually disrespect it by closing below, then that's a sign to us, why is price not happy filling this fair value gap? What is it seeking lower? And if it all lines up, which for example, where we're taking the Asia high and it is the London Open, that thing is most likely the Asia low, right? So with that being said, we're not going to be too preemptive. We're just going to wait and see what happens and wait for any fair value gap to get disrespected, right? So obviously we've got another one forming here. So I'll now be focusing on this. You can use 5-minute or 15-minute. Obviously 15 minutes is going to be a little bit more reliable. But as you can see, pretty soon, price starts reacting off these fair value gaps. So price taps into this one slightly and then move to the upside, which shows us, again, in a bullish market, we tap into these and move off. Even greater confirmation for if we don't, then why are we not? What is price actually seeking out lower? So here we have another fair value gap. And this one, as you can see, we actually did close below. So as soon as we get that close below, people, we are ready to get in. And the only place we enter off is either, it's up to you really. I go off 50%. Some people just go off the actual retap. But I like to see it as a flip. So this fair value gap flips to a bearish one. And I go off 50%. My stop loss at the high. This was actually a strangely high stop loss. Your stop loss is never really going to be 15 pips. It's normally going to be like between like 4 and maybe 8 pips, something like that. So this one was rather high. I mean, ideally with this strategy, 9 times out of 10, you're catching your TPs between 10 and 20 pips. So the fact that this one needed to go like 15 pips in order to even get a 1-to-1 RR just showed that it was December and it was Monday, all these things. That doesn't really make it textbook. So catching with this, if you catch 15 pips, you should be laughing. Like, it should be 3-4 RR up. But this one, that scenario, which is why the RR was a little bit lower, and we took some partials and went break even along the way. But yeah, we are valid straight away to get in off of that. Obviously, you have your TP there. I always round it up to the full pip. Sorry, your stop loss. So never wants to balance. Fucking hell. It never wants to balance. But yeah, that's where we have our stop loss. 14 pips. And our TP, like we said, is always at that same point. It's always going to be that Asia low. So if we play it out, we can see we tapped in. We'll go on the 5 minutes so you can see it a bit better. And obviously price starts to fall. And even at this point here, this is what I mean. So this is like 10 pips, which normally will be a lot higher RR than it is right here, which is why we took partials fairly soon. So after this point, we decided to take partials. This is about this is about 1.2 RR profit. So not the best, but for a Monday, this is actually really good. For a Monday in December, this is really, really good. So we took some partials there and moved our stop loss back at break even, again, for the reasons I mentioned earlier, just to be safe. And as you can see, that was the right thing to do, because we did end up there was news today. We did end up creeping a little bit more into profit, but then coming all the way back up. I did send this trade in as a signal, and I did see some of the members getting upwards of like 2R profit. So I think a lot of people entered the same trade as me, but maybe reduced their stop loss a bit when taking and then took partials. So yeah, normally I don't go stop loss at break even or recommend taking partials, but I did recommend that to people just because Monday's not the best day to trade, nor is December. I know I sound like a broken record, but these are just things that are fact in the market, really. And does matter when looking at the market in its full context. Boys, that is the strategy pretty much. This trade did make me $850, and it also made a lot of my members money as well. So, boys, it's a very, very, very simple strategy. You just got to trade this session every single day. Trade the London session every day. Don't always look at the New York session. Don't look for these big, big moves, right? Don't look for these huge moves every time. Sometimes all it is a little manipulation move in the London session, and that is what pays you. And that is what has paid me for the last 3-4 years of my life, boys. So with that being said, if you want to join my free community where I trade this strategy every single day live, then I'll leave a link to my Discord at the top of the description.